Welcome back to Dreamgirl. We're in lesson 5, halfway through the program. And one of the lessons that I really enjoy because we're talking about self-esteem and the importance of self-esteem. So just to summarize, Dreamgirl is a concept that is going to help us actually make our dreams become a reality. And as we do that, there are a few aspects that we need to consider along the way. So far, we have had to look at the importance of acknowledging ourselves as human beings within the universe and the grand scheme of things. We are more than our body, we're more than our brain, we're more than um, our environment. We are beings that have been created with a very unique purpose. And just as a flower, just as a zucchini, just as a dog, just as a butterfly, we are here to fulfill that unique purpose. And as part of the universe, we don't want to ignore ourselves as beings. We don't want to focus on the human side of things. So the challenge that we have as human beings is to take what we know, to take our conscious mind, and to make sure we don't lose ourselves in our conscious mind, but actually come back to the being that we are. So we looked at the energies and how important it is to acknowledge that everything in life is flow. We see our body, we see our mind, our brain, we see everything as a river. Everything is flowing, everything is in motion. No one moment ever stays the same. But in Buddhist teaching, you are reminded of the moment and coming back to the moment, because it is in the moment, it is in the very present that we are alive. We only feel life now. Our thoughts sometimes digress from the past or into the future, and it just brings back and rehashes trauma from the past, and it loves to create worry and anxiety for the future. But that's not where we live. We live right here, right now, and that's why it is important to come back to the present moment. That's all we ever have control over, the present moment. And in order to understand how our energy actually works with our surrounding energies and other beings, we are able to make some changes. And this program is all about making the right kind of changes that will actually get you the results that you want. So when we are looking at creating success for ourselves, there are certain ways of going about it that aren't consistently helpful. So there are ways you can reach success, but it's not going to last because it is not built on a premise that is actually consistent for us as human beings. For us as human beings, there is a way forward. There is a way to make sure that you can be present, love the present moment, appreciate it, learn from it, so that you can actually create into the future more of those moments, more of the environment that you're actually seeking, something that really fulfills your spirit. So when we're looking at happiness, we looked at the term with a capital E in the middle because it is us who can make it happen. We make it happen. Only I can know what it is I like, what it is that's making me happy, what it is that I enjoy, where I really feel comfortable, and pursue that. It is my responsibility to my spirit to pursue that. So we looked at the spirit being inside of us and through us, and spiritual practice is really the practice of you. And when we look at the energies, we acknowledged how important it was to raise vibrations. So that soul waves, as I coined it, are waves of where we are vibrating on a soul level, and higher frequencies all to do with love and coming from a place of love and compassion, and the lower frequencies coming from a place of negative feelings and emotions and vibrations such as hatred, anger, and envy, jealousy. So one of the key elements in that lesson was that sometimes we're too concerned with higher vibrations on how we treat other people, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But we often forget how important it is how we treat ourselves, and that the high vibrations within our being are determined by the love we have for ourselves. So self-love, self-respect, self-esteem are high vibrational emotions for ourselves. And self-doubt, self-deprecating humor, anything like that, which I used to be very good at, are all low vibrations. And once we recognize that, we might think twice, because for as long as we're staying in the low vibrations and self-doubt and like making jokes about ourselves not being good enough, we are actually calling for more experiences and people who treat us like shit, just to prove to ourselves that, yeah, we're not good enough. And what we want actually is we want a reflection of us feeling good enough and creating atmospheres and environments that come into our lives that are good enough and that reflect that back to us. So experiences of gratitude and appreciation. With that in mind, today's lesson on self-esteem is absolutely essential. We looked at the subconscious mind and its involvement in how we feel and what we do and what we think, and that we do need to affirm to our subconscious mind and feed it some good information about us, because there's been bad and families, if yours or anything like mine, are actually quite detrimental to self-esteem, because there's jokes, and feeling comfortable with each other means to really kind of make fun of each other's weaknesses. And sometimes when we're not prepared on how to take it, it can actually really determine the self-image, and my brother always used to joke and call me fat, even when I wasn't. But it turned me into a fat person, it just turned me into a person that I always thought, yep, I'm fat, I'm too fat, and that's my programming. So, so be it. And I tried to fight against it, and I tried to exercise and be on a diet, but somehow I still was fat. And the only time I was able to change that was changing my subconscious mind and telling myself that I'm not, I'm not. And I was actually, so after my pregnancy, or within the pregnancy, I doubled my weight, and I developed a disease that makes you fat in that time. So that was lovely. But, I was actually fat, and telling myself that I wasn't, got me to lose the weight. It's miraculous. And the best part about it is, because you're telling your subconscious mind, you are actually not putting in the effort of fighting your subconscious mind, which is that battle of the wills, like, I want to lose weight, I'm going to go on the diet, and then, oh, oops, I give up. It's the giving up. It's that battle. You're battling your will. You're always trying to, you're fighting a losing battle, because you cannot win against the subconscious programming unless you go about it a different way, which is programming your subconscious. And telling it, feeding it what you needed to know. This leads us to the importance of self-esteem. One way of making sure that you raise your self-esteem is feeding your subconscious mind what you want your self-esteem to be like. And it will be different for everyone, but just some standard things like I feel good, I love looking in the mirror, I love the way my clothes fit, I fit into my clothes. Whatever it is that is going to raise your self-esteem. I'm so happy with the talents that I've been given. I am so proud that I'm an intelligent person. I am so happy that I have loving, caring friends. So whatever builds your self-esteem, and some of the exercises will help you to actually focus in on what you need to focus on and building it. That is going to be pivotal in how your self-image is going to improve, and you will see a difference straight away. You need to be persistent in what you're telling your subconscious. So this is where you have to be very clear, and also in filtering. So when you hear negative things, or when you hear yourself have that negative talk again, you need to be able to shut it down as quickly as possible, because for as long as you are creating that information to your subconscious center, that's when you're actually going to really see the difference in the way you feel in the long run. So we're looking for that consistent approach, and that will ensure that you not only raise your self-esteem, so you will feel better about yourself, which is a bonus, but by raising your self-esteem, the decisions that you will make will reflect that. You will have a higher value of yourself, and therefore you won't necessarily entertain bullshit. And I think that's kind of the nice place to be, because sometimes we make decisions that we know are not good for us, or we are enabling certain situations and people who are taking the piss. But we do that sometimes because our self-esteem is not giving us that backing to say, nah, that's take a hike. And we know that raising our self-esteem is going to give us that backing and that strength. We need to be protected, and the only way to protect ourselves is to make sure that we are the strongest we can be. And the strongest we can be is a human being who is created through love, and who is love and has love for itself. And as that being, you always have and draw on the love of the universe. The spirit that is within you is also outside of you, and you are protected. You are protected, but you also don't want to battle that. So the lessons that we learn as human beings is that it is hard to be a human being, because we have the egoic mind, we have that conscious mind, we have the distractions that have now taken over. And we need to tune out the distractions of the egoic mind and Netflix. And we need to come back to just us. Just us. That's it. And in that moment, the present moment where it's just you and you love who you are, you create more of that abundance for you, and you are calling it in, because your energy levels, your soul waves are raised to higher frequencies, and you're attracting in higher frequencies. So the job that you want, the money that you need for what it is you want to do, the love that you want, the friends, whatever it is that you're looking for, the health, the energy, you can achieve it. And the key is to make sure that you're working with all those elements, and you're definitely working through your subconscious mind to elevate your confidence levels, your self-esteem, and that in return will give you the self-love that you need for anything that you want to do. And with that self-love, you will feel more confident in really listening to yourself and your intuition, and listening to what it is your spirit desires, so that you can fulfill it without listening to this one and that one and what people want for you and from you. So hopefully this has given you the motivation to really make it your business to improve your self-esteem, raise it. I have taught for 22 years, and I have seen it with so many teenagers. You can teach them English, you can teach them maths, it doesn't matter. The one thing that all of them want to raise is their self-esteem. And making sure that we develop every part of ourselves so that we can love it and we can nurture it. Self-care, self-nurturing, and really making sure that our subconscious mind is allowing us to do that is going to be essential. So you will absolutely love this journey, and you will absolutely love where you arrive. So happy healing. In the next lesson, we're going to look at some of the blockages in our energetic field, and how we can actually release some of the burdens that we're facing, so that we can be free on our journey to self-love and to making our dreams come true. So thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the exercises in workbook 5 for lesson 5. I will see you later. Dream on, girl. Dream girl.